they're going to send it over to meteorologist Christopher Pipkin for some new information on that. Go ahead, Christopher.
We can go ahead and keep Todd pulled up here. I just wanted to tell y'all real fast some of these temperatures in that area real quick. On top of the mountain in Batesville, temperatures are sitting at 78 degrees. At the bottom of the mountain, it's at 64 degrees, so a 10-degree difference on the bottom and top. So right there's that boundary. Hasn't crossed yet to Cushman. Cushman is actually sitting at currently 70 degrees, so it's right in there, Todd.
It's attached to that boundary. That's what we were talking about earlier, these things attached to the boundary. So this tornado warning, again, we're getting told by a local an amateur radio operator saying that this is on the ground. So there's Cushman. I hope they're wrong, but we're going to go ahead with what they're seeing. That's the rotation getting ready to go into town. And because of the forward movement of this and the lag time with streaming, it's already in Cushman. There's Finney Road, there's Blowing Cave, Claxton Loop, Old Hill Loop. There's Finney Road. It's right over Weber Chapel Road, up towards the northeast of that, getting right into town. There's Highway 69, devastated just 2 or 3 weeks ago. And this is just something sickening to see. At least I can tell you that the debris, if there was debris in that area, it's not represented well on radar. So if there is a tornado, I don't think it would be. Again, that's a lagging indicator too, because to get debris, it has to hit something. Maybe it hasn't, and pray to God it won't. But that is gone. Did you see that?
Yeah, I think it's still on that boundary, though. We need to stay with it.
I'm not saying the tornado's over with.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not saying that, but that completely, on that new scan, it revved up and then just let loose. It's on that boundary. Maybe it just jumped across there and let up.
But go ahead to Joel
and tell me what. I mean, that's crazy to me to see something that's wound up, that what we call tight couplet, where the reds and greens come together like that, and for one scan it's still there, but for it to drop off that quickly. Go ahead.
And I know that this area has a lot of storm anxiety right now, so I just want to put a track on this. We're gonna carry it up toward Cave City. Let's make sure we're in our safe place, lowest floor, away from windows. Cushman, Big Spring Mill, Sandtown, Sidney, Cave City, Evening Shade, and Calamine. This is, again, working its way through northwestern Independence County for the time being. It's weakened a little bit, but it could re-strengthen. So at one point, we were reporting a tornado on the ground, and maybe it briefly lifted. But it could still touch back down as it's just riding a boundary. And these boundaries almost, and Todd used this analogy the other day, it's like a zipper. When these storms hang onto that boundary, they can, of course, produce a tornado. But sometimes when they cross north of the boundary, they weaken. But if they're on the boundary, they can stay strong. So it might try to, and Todd, is that a new scan here, or is that a new, or is that bad data that we have there?
I'm not quite.
I'm not convinced.
I'm not convinced. But what I do see on my, I don't have permission to show this to you right now, but I've got a live camera that I'm looking at. Okay, that's Cave City. I'm sorry, I thought it was Cushman, but I got a live camera in Cave City, which is well upstream, and I'm watching that too. So just to let you know when it gets closer to Cave City. But I'm not quite sure if that's a bad, that does not look like, let me see, maybe it's reforming down there. This could be reforming south of Cushman going over Highway 106. That might be what's happening here. Let's look at debris. I don't see anything on debris. The velocity data. I'm going to back this out, show you that velocity. So you had that one circulation. This was a little while ago at 6:59, at 7:02 now. Very strong rotation. Something down here. So watch what happens. I think it goes north of that boundary, and then right along that boundary, maybe something else is trying to get organized south of Cushman going towards the northeast. That might be what's happening here, I would say. And if that's the case, then that tornado warning polygon would have to be adjusted a little bit further towards the southeast, and a new one would get issued a little bit to the southeast since it's south of that circulation. That is a possibility, but I wouldn't be 100% sure about that until we get another scan in here. There it is.
Not a lot stronger, but just a little bit. Yeah. It's a little tighter right there at Cushman. Right there where 69 and 106 come together right there just to the south and east of Cushman.
Yeah, it could be anywhere in that location. This is the meso, and I think that this is anywhere in here there could be a tornado. And we were told through amateur radio operators that there was a confirmed tornado. That doesn't mean it was a huge tornado. Maybe there was something that briefly touched down. but I think that this is reforming and going south of Cushman, and that would put it along that boundary again. And I'd like to see what the temperature is in Cave City. Christopher, doing a great job of being able to tell exactly where that boundary is, because when these storms attach to that, and flash flooding later. But it's going to move towards the northeast, and I'd be interested in seeing what that temperature is doing at Cave City if he's able to get that, and that's what he's going to pull up. There's numerous weather stations all over them.
I will say, Todd, yeah, the temperature near Cave City right now is around 62.
Okay.
Over there towards Cushman, it's still at 70 right now. So right in that area, 10-degree difference from Cave City to over towards Cushman, and over on top of the mountain in Batesville, near 80 degrees. So definitely a very sharp temperature gradient in that area, Todd.
Yeah, it definitely is. Now, there's Cushman there, there's Batesville. This storm is ingesting some of that very warm, humid air into it. Once it gets to the north of the boundary, it becomes what we call elevated, and that means that the threat, it's not rooted in the surface where the storm grows and develops, but it has that potential to still produce large hail and even some wind, but especially large hail, thunder, and lightning. So there's a new scan. Let's look at the velocity products coming in. That hasn't been updated, but Cave City's the next place. So another place, it's almost that exact same path from what we saw on March 14th, but it's not the exact same presentation on radar. We were able to see on March 14th, we were able to see the debris from the radar in Little Rock and from Memphis. That's how powerful that tornado was. That was a 4, wasn't it?
That was a 3.
That was a 3. That one was a 3.
100. Yeah.
Okay, that was a 3. And when I look at the debris detector right now, I don't see that. So, giving everybody there a little bit of comfort in the northern Independence County, going into southern areas of Sharp County. Let's put this still. Still monitoring the live feed out of Cave City. I don't even see the trees moving at all.
Todd.
So, and Cherokee Village too, heavy rain. But we have meteorologist Christopher Pipkin. Let's stay with this. Go ahead, Christopher. What do you have?
Todd, I was just going to say real fast I was looking towards the storms in the southwest, and I was looking at Murfreesboro. There's a bit of a signature that's popping up just a bit, and I know we're far away from the radar, but may also be something of interest in that area, at least with my scan that I saw. Let's see if I can pull up.
It looks like a lot of wind for sure.
If y'all wouldn't mind pulling up, let's see, I'm going to throw up.
I'm going to pull up, I've got storm scan behind me.
There we go. All right, and I'm going to go down here towards the Murfreesboro area.
Yep.
So it was right in there that I started to see that signature.
Yeah, you're right. Right there. Absolutely. There it was.
And now it started to diminish. So
Pike
maybe
City.
a quick spin up, but.
Yeah, but they have a severe thunderstorm warning on that storm. So, severe thunderstorms can and occasionally produce tornadoes. Let's hope that one did not. I want to also touch base with the metro, because we're going to be put in the metro. You see what's heading into Hot Springs right now. This is moving towards Little Rock and Conway. We think closer to 9 or 10 o'clock this starts to move in. Severe weather and flash flooding will be likely once that gets into here. Meteorologist Joel Young with some newer information on the storms that we're tracking in northeastern Arkansas. Joel, go ahead.
Yeah, so I did a little bit of analysis looking at some of the other local weather stations based off of those and just trying to determine where that boundary is. I've drawn a little stationary boundary to show you kind of where this is. So that storm is right there on the boundary just south of Cushman. It's heading toward Cave City. That boundary might be over Cave City, but it does generally take it up toward the Walnut Ridge area. So it looks like that's kind of where that boundary is located right now. And when that storm is on the boundary, when the southern tip of that storm is on the boundary, it can just zip right up the boundary. So I'm going to remove that boundary here so you can see a little bit clearer what we're looking at. There's your velocity, which it looks a little bit weaker. Maybe it's just north of the boundary now. And as I switch to another radar site, it looks a little bit more ominous, but I'm going to take it toward the east-northeast. Sandtown 712, Cave City 718, Calamine 729, and if this keeps going, it might affect Lynn at 737, Eaton at 740, and Annieville perhaps at around 742. So again, that tornado warning includes, now it's no longer including Stone County, by the way. It is just southeastern Izard County, and I think this is probably going to stay out of Izard County. I think, of course, they've got that warning, including Izard County, but there's your rotation. and it may end up kind of going toward Cave City or maybe just a little bit to the south there. We're getting a new scan, and Todd, with that new scan, it looks like it's upticked a little bit. So what we're seeing is it's strengthening and then weakening, strengthening, weakening. So this is something we're going to have to keep watching for a little while as it approaches Cave City, Todd.
Once again, I've got a live feed out of Cave City. I got it right here on my laptop in front of me. I can't take this live on the air right now, but don't have that permission, but I can tell you what I'm seeing. And from this vantage point, I don't see anything except clouds. But it's now northeast of Cushman, and as you rightly indicated, this is now a little bit stronger coming into Cave City, right there along the Sharp County line. It's not put together as much as it was a little while ago, the couplet where you have the red and the green right next to each other, but there's definitely something that may be trying to rotate. When we say rotate in couplets, we're talking about the radar being in North Little Rock. So you always have to know where the position of that radar is, and the greens indicate motion towards the radar, and reds reds are away from the radar, greens are towards the radar. So there's something right in here that's trying to get going. If there isn't, then I would even anticipate strong thunderstorm winds, to say the least. Let's look at debris. Again, I don't see any evidence of debris, but there's hail. There's plenty of hail with this, and torrential rainfall, probably at the rate of at least 1 or 2 inches per hour. Moving towards the northeast into Sharp County. Okay, so am I going to go over to Joel just a second here? Just to let you know, I'm going to give the look at the newest Cave City. I still see nothing in Cave City. Go ahead.
I was just reading in National Weather Service chat that this is coming from the Cave City School District, that the safe room at Cave City Elementary School and Hillcrest Baptist basements, they're packed. So people there, of course, after that tornado that happened just a few weeks ago, a lot of storm anxiety in this area. People are doing what they should be doing, of course, and taking shelter. So that's good news. But of course, we want you to take shelter. We want you to be in the lowest floor, away from windows. Find that safe place. Get there right now. Sandtown, this is closing in on you right now, 712. Cave City at about 7:20. So in just a little less than 10 minutes from now, this will be rolling right over Cave City. Once again, an area obviously hard hit once before this season. We're not saying that this is a repeat of that storm, because that was an EF3. But this one, it's still trying to hang in there. It's riding a boundary, and it looks like maybe with this last scan, perhaps it's maybe a little bit weaker, Todd. Again, it's coming and going. It's riding that boundary. If it sneaks north of the boundary, it gets into the rain-cooled air, and it can weaken. But if it's south of that boundary, and right now trying to determine where that boundary is, it's tough. And we're looking at it scan by scan. We're also looking at it way up in the atmosphere, so it's harder to get an idea as to what's happening toward the surface. But Cave City, Southern Sharp County, Northern Independence County, please be in your safe place. This also carries it over into southwestern sections. Actually, no. This is Sharp County. I was thinking that it went over into Lawrence County. It looks like it stops at the Lawrence County line, but it might need to be expanded if it holds together any further. But Cave City, we're thinking about you. Please be in your safe place. Todd has a little bit more information now.
Right. My heart just, it hurts for those. I know what trauma it causes, the storm anxiety, just hearing the words tornado, or the words tornadoes are possible next week. Just hearing that causes anxiety. It doesn't even have to be the day of. It's a week prior that anxiety ramps up. And so Cave City, what we can tell you is that that rotation again has ramped down. And Cave City and that on all the other small communities in that path of that tornado, just to let you know that this is not like March 14th at this time. Christopher, I'm going to pop up. I'm going to pop up behind me. Storm analyst.
And I want to show you this. Yeah, Todd, this is over towards the northwest of, so the opposite side of the state here, southwest Arkansas. Getting in a new scan here next to Amity. And again, this is not tornado warned. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning on it.
Well, that'd be rain wrapped, I'll tell you that.
Yes, yes. And then this is a look at still, and it's a bit of a ways from radar, but still starting to see a bit of tightening in that area, Todd. And I'm going to go ahead and jump over here again towards the Cave City one as well. Because
can we look at normalized rotation to see if we can look at the algorithms with that? They look very messy right now. So near Cushman, east of Cushman, coming up on Cave City, that does not look all that strong, that presentation. So that's some good news with that.
Right as you say that, This is ham radio operator who's reporting it's possibly on the ground again near Cushman. That was, let me make sure that's not old. Okay, well, that was just a minute ago, so yeah. Well,
Okay, so that was in Cushman. That was earlier. That was earlier.
well, yeah, okay, but that was at 7:13 when that was sent, so might have been late. That it was
Okay.
sent, but either way, still, I'm watching this storm down here in Pike County. I'm glad you pointed out, Christopher, because I had spotted it earlier as well. But again, that's coming out of, it's a new one. This is a different one. So right now I'm looking at southwest Arkansas. There's rotation that's been holding together there, and it may prompt a new tornado warning there in northwestern Clark County near Amity, just to the south of Glenwood. We're going to have to watch that. That has prompted, it looks like, a severe thunderstorm warning, but we're still going to continue to watch that storm up here in northern Arkansas up into the Cave City area. I want to go back and check on that area there. It does not look as strong as it once did. In fact, it might look the best it's looked in the last little bit. Todd, what do you think? Do you think that, I mean, that's...
The Cave City one
I
does
sure
not.
hope so. I know we've got a lot of folks praying for the people in Cave City. Maybe those prayers are being answered right now.
Yeah, I'm always worried about things like that, Joel, but it does, I hate to say it's winding down, then have it ramp right back up again. As we've been monitoring here in southwest Arkansas as well, no tornado warning is in effect for this. This would be going into northern Clark County. Bismarck over here in Hot Spring County. There's DeGray. And Highway 70 up here, Glenwood. This is definitely some wind, but we don't know exactly. We don't have a tornado warning right now. I can tell you that right now. What do we have in these boxes too, by the way? I think just, okay, that top one, that's Hot Springs. All right, that's fantastic. That's Tylesa Hampton up there in down there in Hot Springs. And so that's the leading edge of that thunderstorm coming into Hot Springs that does have a severe thunderstorm warning on it right now. Joel, if you do me a favor, if you can just keep an eye on that storm going into Sharp County. And I want to watch this coming up towards the north into Hot Springs, because if we can communicate with Tylesa and whomever she is with, that this is rotating slightly and coming up towards Garland County. So that's west of Hot Springs. If they want to get a visual on this, you might want to drop a little bit further towards the south, but I also don't want to put them in any harm's way. But that's west of Hot Springs. You see those dark looking clouds. That's a thunderstorm, but that's not a tornado or anything like that. So no tornado warning on this. We'll see if what they decide to do. It has increased again near Amity. I don't feel comfortable whatsoever leaving this storm. I want to stay with this storm until that circulation, whatever it is that's in there, winds down. And I want everybody in the far southeastern tip of Montgomery County, the northern portion of Clark County, especially right there, and far western Hot Spring County and southwestern Garland County. Let's play this safe and sorry. Take your tornado precautions. Meteorologist Christopher Pipkin, go ahead.
Todd, they're going to issue a tornado warning on that storm over towards Pike County. And I think, Joel, do you have that radar up of that storm?
Let me go back to it. So right now I'm still zoomed in on Cave City. Cave City looks much better than it did, but yeah, that storm down around just south of Glenwood, and there's the new tornado warning here. It is for, and I'll get a storm track on it really quickly. That is for Garland, southeastern Montgomery, northwestern Hot Spring, or just far western tip of Hot Spring County. That goes until 8 o'clock. So here's the rotation south of Glenwood. That's going to clip that northwestern corner of Clark County. It's going to run almost parallel, maybe run parallel to Highway 70. It's going to cross into Hot Spring County briefly and then right into Garland County. So I'm going to get the speed on this. It looks like it's moving northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So putting a track on that, and it's probably going to take it mostly west of Hot Springs. So here's Hot Springs, there's Highway 70. So it's going to be moving through the Seeger area, 723, Mazarn at 731, Myers at 737, Chandler at 742, Bear at 747, Rockwell 751, and Mountain Pine at 755. So that strong rotation. There's Glenwood right here. There's the rotation just south here. We're still in Pike County. This is going to clip that far northwestern tip of, this is Clark County, and it's probably going to cross over into Hot Spring County very briefly, just to the west of Bismarck, and then take it right up, maybe crossing Highway 70, somewhere just north and east of the Hot Spring Garland County line, and then take it perhaps west of Hot Springs. So the city of Hot Springs, you're just outside of that tornado warning. So there's your polygon. Rockwell is right on the edge of the polygon, and Hot Springs is just outside of it. But still, if you're in southwestern Garland County, southeastern tip of Montgomery County, Seeger is part of that. So it may actually stay south and east of Seeger, but you see that rotation there, and it's strengthening and taking it back toward the north and east. I'm going to put a loop on that. That is, I believe what we're seeing, Todd, is that this is the northern edge of a Boeing segment. So we're kind of the northern bookend vortex right here. So there's your Boeing segment right there. There's going to be a lot of damaging wind with that south of Glenwood. But right in there, embedded in the rainfall, that's where we have a possible tornado. And that is some tight rotation, Todd, right there to the south and east of Glenwood. We're going to look at debris mode and see if we have anything on the ground at the moment. I can't confirm anything, but that is some tight rotation. Todd, do you have anything new to speak of on this?
No, you're right, though. It is embedded in extraordinarily heavy rainfall right now, so it would be very difficult to see. Also, the sun is setting, too. But just to remind you, we have Tylesa up there, or over there in Hot Springs, just to the west of town, so we're going to be able to see what's going on from their vantage point. But this is extremely high winds wrapped up, this potential tornado. I've been looking to see if we have any debris with this. It's going to be coming up just west of Hot Springs. So Hot Springs is not technically in this tornado warning, and neither is Lake Hamilton. That could also change if it moved more to the right, but I think it's just to the west of town along Highway 270. Debris detector, I continue to monitor that while the rotation is still very much there. It's near Glenwood. I don't see anything that shows that debris is being lofted into the air. That doesn't mean we don't have a small tornado. But in this type of situation where it's wrapped up in rain, it's important to follow the velocities with this. Baker Road, Sugarloaf Road, McGrew Road, Scott Road, Forest Road. It's right on top of Baker Road at this time. There's Dillard Road, there's Glenwood. Getting ready to cross over the county line, there's Sugarloaf Road and Scott Road. That's where the potential rotation is located at this time, and it's moving towards the northeast very, very rapidly. We also have Jesse Hayes, who's on his way south to intercept this storm. So we're going to have two people on this. Tylesa will eventually get Jesse on that. Let's send it over to meteorologist Joel Young.
I don't want to shift our attention from that storm very long because that is a very intense rotation just southeast, right around Glenwood. But Cave City, I think that rotation is weakened some. However, the polygon is now showing pink, indicating it's a confirmed tornado. So Cave City, that tornado warning continues. I do think it's weakened a good bit. But let's stay in our safe place in southern Sharp County, northern Independence County. That rotation is closing in on Cave City right now, but we do have a stronger storm that is now strengthened near Glenwood, and I believe Christopher has a little bit more information on that right now coming from the Arkansas Storm Team Weather Center.
Thank you very much, Joel. And if y'all wouldn't mind pulling up our storm computer right here in front of me, I want to show you some drone footage that's just from that storm right now. It's going to have a little bit of text to the OBS computer there, and I will go ahead and pull it up on my end as well. There we go. This video that you're about to see, here it is, was just sent in from Alex Bonner. And thank you so much. This is from Murfreesboro, and you can see a shelf cloud with this. He's going to zoom in just a bit here towards that area, and that's where that rotation would be, is in this area of that storm. So you've got that shelf cloud, you've got that inflow pulling into the storm, but where you see it curve into that area where I've got it zoomed in just a bit, that's where you would see that storm to be rotating up into that area. So this was about 5 to 10 minutes ago near the Murfreesboro area. Thank you so much, Alex Bonner, for sending this in. And Todd, what do you see this video here? It's very impressive video, drone footage in Murfreesboro.
Yeah, that's scary looking stuff right there, but no reports of anything. The newest scan just came in on the velocities on that, Christopher, and it has weakened tremendously from the last scan. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So that was at 712. You see it over there near Amity at 712. We were on the air prior to the tornado warning being issued, telling you we're not going to leave that. It goes just to the north of Amity. That's at 719. All right. And the newest scan to me looks like that tornado, it's high winds, but if there is a tornado, maybe, gosh, I'm trying to find anything there that would still stay sheltered. When I say that it's weakened or whatever, I don't want to give you the impression that we're done with this tornado, but there is something still there moving towards the northeast. Let's go over to Joel.
Yeah, I'm going to take you back up here to this Cave City storm. This is still considered to be a tornado on the ground. I'm seeing some signs that it's weakened, but I don't want us to rest on that, friends. This is in Sharp County now, so it's technically outside of our coverage area, but we're being told that there may be power flashes in the Cave City area. Now, I don't have confirmation of that, but that's what we're being told. And so for that reason, if you're watching us in southern Sharp County and technically extreme northern Independence County, which isn't our coverage area, still under that warning, make sure you're staying in your safe place. We might be turning our attention to another storm in southwest Arkansas at times. We're having to juggle multiple warnings, but please stay in your safe place, Cave City. That is still some signature of rotation. Maybe it snuck a little farther north of the boundary, and maybe, I sure hope that's weakened. But let's not rest on it. Tornado warning continues for southern Sharp County, northern Independence County as well. And we continue to monitor that storm coming up Highway 70 near Glenwood, crossing over into parts of Clark and Hot Spring County. Do we have a little bit more information on that right now? Maybe a new scan, Todd or Christopher? Do we have anything new on that?
I do have some reports of, we don't know if there were power flashes or if they were lightning strikes, but we're getting some reports of that in Cave City. So, and I've got a storm chaser there that I'm looking at, and I don't see anything. Their lights are on in Cave City, and I don't see any power flashes with that whatsoever in Cave City. That again is confirmed, has just moved outside of our viewing area, but I'm going to continue to monitor that. But I want to focus in on what's happening here coming into Hot Springs. It's very heavy rainfall. That's sort of a good thing, sort of. And it means that it may start to cool the atmosphere just a little bit. Might be some wishful thinking along with that. But the circulation, the rotation with that has definitely calmed down some. But I want everybody near and west of Hot Springs in southwestern areas of Garland County to take your tornado precautions if you haven't already and stay sheltered. We have Tylisa Hampton in Garland County, and I don't know her exact location, but we can go to her live. I hear she's got her earpiece in. So Tylisa, if we got her, I'd like to just get her thoughts on what she's seeing there near Hot Springs. As we're on radar right now, and I want to tell you, Tylisa, I'm not sure who's driving, but beware, you've got some very high winds and torrential rainfall. Where are you exactly, and what do you see?
Well, Todd, we're on 270 right now, and we're moving up towards Malvern. We're just in Hot Springs, so we saw, I know that you saw it on the screen, that heavy rainfall. Now we've just kind of moved out of it, and it's not really raining as hard anymore, but the wind is still picking up.
Okay, thank you very much.
And then we have a lot of, I don't know if you just saw that right now, but there was a little lightning in the clouds.
Right, okay. Stay safe. You're in a car, which is a good thing, but then you got the winds and the tornado threat too. We're going to find out they're going to continue this tornado warning. I've got a storm chaser that I'm monitoring too in Cave City. He's right underneath the circulation up there, and I don't see anything extending to the ground. That doesn't mean it's not happening. It's just from one picture of that. In the metro, we got heavy rain that will be, it's very slow to get in here. And that's a bad thing because it will be very, very slow to get out of here, and it will be here all night long. But they already have issued flash flood warnings for this entire area because of torrential rainfall and the slow movement. I don't know if Joel or Christopher, if anybody here has seen whether or not the National Weather Service plans on continuing this tornado warning, but just from Dennis Kavanaugh, the storm is Dennis, is he saying that the storm over there southwest is nearly?
I think he's talking about the Cave City storm.
Oh, okay.
I see what you're saying, but okay. I do think that has weakened considerably as it's gotten out of Pike County. And considering, as I mentioned, this is a part of a damaging wind line here. So we've got a Boeing segment to some extent crossing into northwestern Clark County. sometimes you get what's called a northern bookend vortex. It's basically the northern side of a Boeing segment, and sometimes you can get rotation. Typically, those don't sustain themselves as long, and that may be what we're seeing right now. Still got to watch it. These things can re-strengthen, but maybe it's gotten occluded, and maybe it's not holding itself together as well. But still, it's in an environment where some storms might be able to produce a sustained tornado, but we're hopeful that that these don't last long, and hopefully we don't see any more from this point forward.
Okay, and I'm asking if they're going to continue this Garland County storm. I know the nerves that are on end right now with any possibility of a tornado, and there's no sense of having a tornado warning if the threat's gone. But I'm not saying the threat's gone because there's an official tornado warning in effect. And even if they do drop that tornado warning, I want you to know that it's probably going to have high winds. Flash flooding is very prominent and flood prone. Hot Springs, as many of you know. I'm not saying 1990 is going to happen. I can't remember when in May that was, May 20th or so of 1990. But okay, just checking to see if the National Weather Service responded. But it's going to be torrential rainfall, and there's going to be street flooding for sure. And you're already in Hot Springs, you're already under a flash flood warning, and that probably was just issued moments ago, and I may have missed it, but it is in effect. On the reflectivity here, the presentation on it, what Joel was saying, it's got that bookend vortex, and it's like a comma, and it wraps up like this, and it's back here in the rain. So that's what he's saying, is that bookend vortex where it wraps back in like that. That's the circulation center right there, and then out in front of it, this is high winds pushing out. So if it's not a tornado, it's high winds. So it still causes damage. Go ahead, Joel, and what do you have?
Nothing new, but just based off of this, and yes, that rotation is weakened, and they may decide to drop that warning, but I do think that it would be maybe just because sometimes one might weaken, but then it might try to reorganize. Because again, you've got this Boeing segment right here. There's your circulation that's weakened because it's so embedded with rain, but sometimes it tries to develop a new one kind of right there. Do you see there's like a kink in this line, almost like it's an S shape there, and right in there might be trying to develop a new one. So either way, this whole storm is going to be working its way north and eastward. It's still capable of producing a tornado. If it did produce a tornado, it probably lifted, and then it might try to drop a new one somewhere up the road. So again, I would, if they do drop this tornado warning, let's still be within steps of our safe place. Maybe one step in that safe place, one step out if they do drop it. But that is an area there that needs to be watched very closely because it has potential to try to reorganize itself as it tracks north and eastward. So again, that rotation, I'm going to take you to velocity and maybe you can show you a little bit more of what I'm talking about. See how it was strong right down here when it came out of Pike County. It weakened some. Are we trying to get some new circulation here over parts of extreme western Hot Spring County? Is that what we're seeing here?
Yeah, Joe, I was looking at that, and I just got a word from the National Weather Service. So I was seeing that, and come back. They said that there's a little circulation near Point Cedar, but they may expire if it doesn't show any continuity. So yeah, you're right. It is there. Mazarn, there's Bismarck over here. There's still maybe a little bit of something left over in that location, but since we're so close to the radar, relatively close, especially from the storms that we've been tracking so far today, there's a certain degree in confidence that it may not be happening. Stay sheltered. Hot Springs, I wouldn't be out on the roads right now, and I think Tylisa obviously is not in the rain, that they're out of the rain area and trying to get down to see if there's any damage from that going towards Glenwood or somewhere in that location, wherever it went through Amity, just to double check for us. But it's just not looking as ominous as it did just about maybe 15 minutes ago or 20 minutes ago when we noticed that rotation, not seeing that. While we continue to wait and see on the status of that tornado warning, let's get, big picture. The tornado warning in northeast Arkansas is gone. All right, so that confirmed tornado, it's north of the boundary, it's gone. This here, you can obviously see where we have the severe weather threat in southwest Arkansas and southern Arkansas, and all out in this open sector that hadn't had rain today. But the flash flooding threat and the river flooding threat continues to increase substantially over the next several hours, as the flash flood warnings will outpace any sort of severe thunderstorm or tornado warning. They are now canceling the tornado warning. So the tornado warning has been dropped. Hot Springs, I want you to stay inside, and I want you to stay away from windows. Let's let Lisa know that too, if we can, back there in the back. Just let her know there's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. Take that just as seriously. And before we send that back to programming, my team is absolutely extraordinary. Proud to be associated with Christopher and Joel. If you have anything that you want to add before we toss back to regular programming, just...
Thank you so much, Todd. Yeah, hey, one thing's for sure, I'm learning from the best here from both of you, Joel and Todd, and all the crew in the background trying to make this possible. We're so grateful, and we're so grateful for you two at home for sending in your photos, because I've been watching them come through the app, the folks that are sending it through there. Very grateful for that. Can't say one thing, I'm so glad that this is not a repeat of what Wednesday was. Wednesday was just a huge tornado outbreak across northeastern Arkansas. Caused a lot of tornadoes to touch down on the ground, and I'm so glad we have not seen that today, and yet, and I want to knock on wood, and hopefully we don't. I'm going to pray that we don't continue to see that, but looking at how trends are, this is looking to be a bit of a wind event. But Joel, what do you see of this? And again, thank you all. Thank you, Joel and Todd, for just soaking it all in. You know, it's just a really cool moment to be here with you too, Joel.
I appreciate that. Again, want to express our appreciation to all of you for trusting us during an event like this. So thankful that at the moment we do not have any more tornado warnings in effect here across southwest Arkansas, northern Arkansas, but still ingredients are in place for severe storms. We're going to be watching it here. We're going to be right here through the evening. We'll probably fire up a live stream here on our websites, KARK.com and fox16.com, to keep you updated. Even if we're not here on the air, we're going to be in that weather center keeping you updated, Todd.
And just to let you know, we're going to be live streaming to KARK.com, fox16.com, and the Arkansas Storm Team app. We will have a live stream up as these come even closer to central Arkansas. We'll be monitoring the situation, but for now, we're going to send it back to regular programming. Thank you for your trust.
This was severe weather coverage from the Arkansas Storm Team.